Could taking a break be the missing link between mediocrity and task mastery? Well, according to Medical News Today, new evidence shows you don't have to wait until you can have a full 8 hours of sleep to improve your performance. So this study, scientists recruited 33 right-handed participants and had them use their left hand to type a sequence of numbers onto a touchscreen for 12 minutes. The brain activity of the participants was recorded, and this was used magnetoencephalography, basically a brain scanning technique. Improvements were recorded after the first 11 practice periods, and the improvements were based on something called a micro offline gain. Interesting. What are micro offline gains? Well, during the rest period, the brain regions of these participants that were involved, the processing sensory information sector of the brain, which is the activity of tapping the screen, and encoding memories of the abstract information. For an example, like the last time that you studied, new information for a test, that's where you're encoding the new memories. Well, what they found was that taking a break didn't mean that the brain activity stopped. Actually, on the contrary, reactivation of brain regions, the regions I mentioned before, it occurred 20 times faster than activation during the actual peak of the typing test, which is interesting. But what does it all mean? Well, the authors of the study conclude that taking breaks from a practice session could actually result in improved motor performance. So the next time that your job or your boss asks you why you're taking so many breaks, just tell them that, send them the link to this video and tell them that you're trying to build new memories. All right, moving on. Well, from short breaks to indefinite breaks, 2 members of an FDA Advisory Committee resigned after approval of a controversial Alzheimer's medication. More than 6 million Americans live with Alzheimer's disease right now. It's a neurodegenerative disorder that progressively destroys one's memory, cognitive impairment, and thinking skills. Did you know that Alzheimer's is actually the 6th leading cause of death in America? In 1993, the first FDA-approved Alzheimer's treatment drug called Tacrine, or Cognex, was touted for being the first to cross the blood-brain barrier. So let's have a crash course. Blood-brain barrier. It's a structure in the brain that separates your bloodstream from other structures of the brain. It serves the purpose of keeping toxins out with the intention of letting through vital nutrients, such as water, oxygen, and small fat-soluble substances. According to sources, Tacrine did fall out of use by 2013 when it was withdrawn from the market due to concerns of its link to liver toxicity. Well, fast forward to 2 days ago. Biotechnology company Biogen celebrated FDA clearance of Aducanumab, the first injectable drug treatment for Alzheimer's, which will be marked under the name Aduhelm, with a ticket price of $56,000 per patient. But how does it work? Researchers say it slows the progression of the disease by clearing amyloid plaques in the brain. Amyloid plaques, protein fragments that the body normally clears up naturally on its own, but in the case of Alzheimer's disease patients, these plaques end up clumping together. The drug was approved with the stipulation that Biogen would conduct another clinical trial. Many scientists say there is not enough evidence that Biogen's Aducanumab is an effective therapy for Alzheimer's disease. But what about the resignations that I mentioned before? We're getting there. The 2 members of the FDA Advisory Panel, David Notman and Joel Perlmutter, both neurologists, one at Mayo Clinic and another at Washington University in St. Louis, both resigned from the committee. Noteworthy is the fact that FDA is not required to follow the advice of its outside experts. And a study found that 22% of the time from 2008 to 2015, the agency took actions that went against advisory committee recommendations. There were emails back and forth. Notman ultimately was quoted attesting, "I feel ethically bound to offer the treatment because FDA is the law of the land and the drug is commercially available," he said. "And I will present them with my side of the story and with the FDA side of the story, that reducing amyloid may offer a clinical benefit in the future." Well, food for thought. On one hand, he felt so strongly to resign, and on the other, he confirmed that he will be prescribing and utilizing this drug in practice. I'm curious, what are your thoughts? What do you think about this? $56,000 ticket price for a drug that has a stipulation that it still needs additional clinical trials. If you know somebody who has Alzheimer's, would you urge them to consider it? Maybe you do know somebody, or if your parent, unfortunately something were to happen, would this be something you would take into consideration given the FDA stipulation that it run through more clinical trials? Well, that is your news for today, June 10th, your health news. Happy National Iced Tea Day, and I hope you have a great day. See you in the next one. Bye.